So what's up, kiddos? A while back I posted on Facebook just kind of like a questionnaire of, I wanted to kind of get back into my videos to kind of share what knowledge and stuff I have, because we owe it to the human race to do such. And one of the questions was asked is recovery to get back in the gym, essentially. So this question entails a lot from when it happened, during, and of course after. So, when you start feeling better and you get back in the groove of things. So really, this is kind of like for all you dumb people out there that know how to, I'm just kidding, I'm a total kidder, I joke around all the time. Okay, I'm a big jokester. So, totally kidding, don't take offense. If not, just stop watching the video and just move on. But anyways, so when the injury does happen, right, you want to think about, everyone always goes, do I heat or do I ice? The question is, or the answer to that, I'm sorry, is you want to ice, okay? Icing is going to calm that inflammation down, so that way the blood can actually get through, because when it's inflamed, it's hard for the blood to get through to actually heal that area of the injury. It's mostly beneficial to ice like your joints, but it is still beneficial to ice your muscles, like if they're sore. So even if you got done with your training, and you're just sore, just ice. You never know. There's some micro inflammation that could happen or something, and it just gets you back in the game. So you want to follow this acronym actually when an injury occurs, which is going to be PRICE. Okay, so you're not buying anything, you're not labeling it something to purchase, right? It's to protect, rest, ice, compress, and elevate. Okay, so protecting means so if you hurt your ankle doing a roundhouse kick, don't do a roundhouse kick on anything to hurt your ankle again. Be cautious of it. Be mindful of it, okay? Don't reoccur that injury, okay? But definitely you don't want to just sit on your bed. Like when something happens, you want to move around. That's what does help you recover. Resting though, yes, you want to rest it. You don't want to, so if you're used to doing, 3 hours of training, calm it down. Just do little intervals, in that time. Don't be going gung-ho the whole time. Rest it, just relax, just take it easy, all right? Icing, okay, which I already stated. Icing is, as soon as that injury occurs, get some ice on that bad boy. It's gonna help your recovery go a little bit faster and get you back in the game. So definitely just get an ice pack. Don't just put ice directly on the skin. You wanna put it in a towel of some kind, or you can buy one of those ice, I don't even know what they're called, but you'll find them at like Walgreens or CVS, but it's something you can put your ice in, and that way it can surround the area and wait. Because you don't want the ice directly on your skin, because it can damage your skin actually and just cause like skin damage if you do it for really long periods of time. But yeah, make sure it's, because what you want is that the cold to go through and actually get inside, and you don't want to feel the skin is really what it comes down to. So definitely ice. Compression is do like a small wrap around the area if you need be. Ankle, so once again we're talking about ankles, so wear ankle support, something once again you can buy at Walgreens, CVS, any store, and that there will keep it slightly compressed, and the compression will also protect it, those type of things, but it also at the same time it can help blood, believe it or not, get in those areas and keep it there to help with the healing process, okay? Elevation is, that kind of goes back with the resting part, because when you're resting, like say once again the ankle, you'll lay on your back, put some pillows underneath your leg, and get your leg on top of those pillows as such, and you have the ice pack there, and by doing that, you want it above your heart. When the area of injury is above the heart, it can help get that blood through, once again, to healing, okay? So follow that, definitely. Heating as well after this. Heating, when you heat your muscles, it's gonna be a good few days after the icing process, and you're gonna wanna ice as often as you can, okay? There's no real set, like whether you do like 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. There's no real set, or you just leave it on for 20 minutes, but don't leave it on overnight. Try to not do that, okay? Yeah, be smart, all right? The next here is when you're kind of getting back in your training program. Okay, so 3S is this. Okay, it's like an initialism here. So you always want to add the word train in front of these. So remember this, okay? Which is safe, strong, and smart. So you're going to train safe, train strong, and train smart. Okay, so when you train safe means you're aware of your surroundings, right? You're not in the squat rack, you know, got weight on you that you've never done before, or you don't have a spotter, you don't have things in front of you, behind you, or on the side of you. So that's where the safe part comes in, okay? Training strong means, to me, it's not to isolate. Don't isolate the muscles. You want to use your anterior, posterior, and lateral chain in any exercise you do. So, and it's also a mental practice. You actually want to focus. That's where the strong is. It's like you want to focus on your task at hand, okay, to once again prevent any injuries from reoccurring. Being smart. Okay, be smart, right? We're human beings. That's what got us to where we are today, is our intelligence. So don't be stupid, okay? You know, once again, don't use weight that you've never done. And if you're recovering, you know, use lightweight, do methodical movement, take your time with the movement, okay? Don't just put heavy weight back in and go, all right, I gotta get back here. Don't use, you know, you gotta let go of your ego and your pride. And that's where being smart comes into play. Because you wanna get back on the horse, you don't wanna fall back down the horse, right? You don't wanna fall back off, okay? And also, you have range of motion. Range of motion, which is ROM, okay, R-O-M, kind of goes in hand with this too. To me, range of motion doesn't necessarily, like when you do your exercise practice, it doesn't necessarily build muscle. It's more focused on that lean machine kind of thing. But to me, that's what really recovers the body, regardless. Using the full range of what you can do. There's not a lot of people that can do this, what I'm doing here, okay, is by just lifting my arm straight up, got my ear to my bicep while keeping good posture. And there's not a lot of people that can do this. And by limiting yourself, you're opening yourself up to injuries, because of if something were to break that range, maybe the weight you're using, or if you're wrestling with somebody, you're competing with somebody. So range of motion is key, because you want to build those supporting muscles, those stabilizers, with your large group muscles to keep your body together, keep it strong, you know. Also, deception, good old deception. Okay, but anyways, moving on. So after that, okay, and this, when you're recovering, once again, recovering from, you know, an injury, getting back in the gym, this, you know, you got to take time, right? This stuff can take a little time, depending on how bad the injury is, and that's smart comes in, okay? So final is, and this kind of goes back to even you current people that are in the gym, or, you know, working out, doing all this stuff just fine, but is FIT, okay, F-I-T, FIT. This is a great acronym, because this is how it's like program design in a way, is frequency, intensity, time, and duration. Okay, time focuses on duration. Okay, frequency is how often do you work out, right? Because if you're trying to get better at, you know, maybe lift more, or just get better, you know, cure your injury, you know, that's where you want to think about this stuff. Are you only going once a week? Are you going 1 to 3 times a week? Are you going 5 times a week? Are you going 6 days a week? Okay, so something to keep in mind. The next is your intensity. Okay, intensity is like how much inertia, how much effort you're putting into the practice. Okay, CrossFit in general, you know, bring up CrossFit a lot, but CrossFit is kind of like always about high intensity. That's their goal. That's kind of like their function. It's for the elite athletes, so their goal is high intensity. But once again, if you're trying to recover, you got to play with that intensity. You have your low, you have your medium, and you have your high. Okay, so you want to play with that. So if you had a Monday through Friday routine of every day a week, you know, you would go high intensity Monday, go to low intensity on Tuesday. You can go maybe mid intensity on Wednesday, go back to high on Thursday, and then go back to low on Friday, you know. But that's something you play with that intensity, and you listen to your body. Very important, listen to your body when it comes down to that. So that's kind of even following this. Okay, you're gonna see how this all connects, all right? And then last is time. In that day that you chose to train, in that time, whether it's the morning, after work, before work, okay, any of those times, is how much time are you putting into it? Are you putting 30 minutes into it? Are you putting an hour? Are you putting 2 hours? Are you putting 3 hours? All right, think about those things, okay, and apply it to this. The key is, you know, our bodies are very resilient, but keep in mind you can overtrain them, and you'll notice even through your practice, by overtraining, you could actually create the problem, and that's counterproductive to training. So that's something to think about, and that's why ego and pride needs to be let out the door, or especially if you're trying to impress the ladies or something. You gotta kind of think about yourself when it comes to this and realize, are you getting better? Are you happy with what you're doing? Keep in mind. But overtraining is a real threat. I know I didn't write it on here, but overtraining can be a real threat. So you really have to balance this stuff out with your intensity and your frequency, okay, and the time you're putting into it, you know? So really consider that. So hopefully this helps, all right? And you guys stay strong, have a good day, and yeah. And once again, if you got any other questions or something more that you'd like me to help you guys out with, just let me know, comments, they help out a lot. Subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps me out to keep me going with this stuff, particularly if you have something in general to focus on. So have a good one. Bye-bye.